only thing that y'all saying is she just wanted to be heard and she
We
wanted you to
heard her.
understand. Right.
You
That's
did
it.
it.
Okay.
We
Now,
just didn't agree with you.
You didn't
Not
hear
agreeing
me.
with you don't mean we didn't hear you, sweetheart.
What you just said proved that
is
you did not hear a thing that I just said.
I'm not even talking.
You heard nothing. Just because every other woman on this panel got what you were saying and I did it doesn't mean anything.
It don't, Bo, but you make it
hold
seem
on,
like what you say means everything too. Like you speak for most women and you don't, Bo.
You and I are sitting here having a conversation. It is about you and me in that moment.
If me, iLLA, and Humble Dad built this, and M. White says, I want that, you should give it to me. And I say, no. Is Kiera and Pretty gonna jump up there and fight M. White for it? Or y'all gonna sit back and say, or here's what's gonna happen. M. White gonna knock Pretty Intellectual out, and Kiera gonna say, I'll step back and let the guys handle it.
I mean, don't we got examples of this on these survival shows when they be showing women on these islands? It's totally equal. We got the same amount of supplies, the same terrain. When they put these women in these survival situations, they end up falling off, getting injured, sick early, or joining a camp with other men. Like we can see this happen. Like it's quantifiable. It's not something we just pulling out our ass.
It's like we talk about history. We talk about it as if what happened during when us switching over to what is it switching over to more like plantain and things like that in agriculture isn't a natural progression of humans.
Sweeney, you know what else is a natural progression?
Let's just make sure we remember to all value each other, value one another so that we can have family, we can have community. Make sure that we have these discussions. And the sooner that we're able to do that, I genuinely feel like the sooner we'll be able to unite instead of looking at the flaws at one another. We can address those and hold each other accountable, but definitely value one another. And I stick by what I said. Feminism is not necessary, but a love for humanity and community and life is necessary. And when we treat each other better, life can be better. And then we have to remember that there's a power greater than us just as humans that hates the concept of life, hates the concept of family and community. And when we're able to work together, we have a better chance at defeating that spiritual issue that we're dealing with. Thank you.
Well said, Kiana. That was excellent.
I just want to start off by saying I was thoroughly entertained. That's why I didn't mind being quiet for a while. But I do think we spend a lot of time on the podcast talking about the issues, right? Like from a man's and a woman's perspective and what we think the problem is. But we never really land a lot on the solution, what we can do to make things better, how we can grow as people. I think communication is one of those things. And that's one of the things Bo was kind of highlighting. I do think, though, that in her efforts of highlighting it, she also showed a flaw in the way that women perceive information as well as the way that men give information. I think once we come to an understanding of how to communicate better with each other, where we can not only feel, because we can't help but to feel, that's just how women are built. Like you guys keep saying, men are naturally leaders, right? You're born into that. We are born into our feelings. We're born into that nurturer aspect. So we feel heavily first. You think not logically first. So we have to learn to cut off some of those feelings and try to just listen to what you guys are saying instead of instantly feeling, what do I want to say, getting angry from it or defensive, where you also have to realize that just because we're feeling doesn't mean that our feelings are not important, right? That they can be looked over or that they can be dismissed because they're just as important. And we have to be able to communicate with each other for us to get to a resolution at some point. Because at one point it was just back and forth, jab, jab, jab. And though it is entertaining, it doesn't really solve any issues.
Can I say something real quick? I think why not? I can't say no real quick.
The women gotta go, my guy.
All right, go ahead, lady. Go ahead.
Now, I was about to fight back on the whole flaw in how women perceive the communication, but I'll give you that. But what I will say is, I think that it was overlooked that I did do the most logical thing. I did not act in my feelings. I did not act in my feelings. I was completely logical. And I said, this is how I perceived what you said. This is what I heard. And I gave it back. And so I want people to understand that it takes a whole lot of awareness. It takes a whole lot of logic. And it takes a lot of control to be like, okay, I heard this. I know that's not what he said. But from the words that he said and the way that he said those things, this is how I interpret it. I gave that, I bundled it up. I gave it back. I waited for a response. I was instead met by feelings because you felt like I was telling you what you said. I did not do that. I said, this is how I felt about what you said. And I gave you the room to clear it up. I want you to understand that I was the more logical person. I want us to be able to communicate to where I can tell you how I felt about what you said. You accept that and say, that is not what I meant. What I meant was this, this, and this. That is how you have a conversation where you can clear up something, because I do not communicate the way you communicate. I gave you the way I communicate, and I wanted you to give me something else. That is how communication works. But you did not listen to me. The other half of the communication is listening. But you didn't do that. And what really disheartens me about these conversations, the reason why I shut down so much is because I am not listened to. It was not recognized that I was being completely logical, and I was not in my feelings at all whatsoever. I was ready to be wrong, and I said, I may be wrong. I could be wrong. But that's how I felt like what you said. This is what I felt like when you said that. But I could be wrong. That is completely logical. That is me sitting in nothing but logic and no feelings at all whatsoever. None. And so we cannot communicate effectively if you automatically hear me accusing you of something and I've accused you of absolutely nothing. This is why these conversations can get nowhere. This is why we cannot hear each other, because I stepped to you ready to listen to what you had to say after I told you my interpretation of your words, and you instead wanted to berate me and you wanted to be heard. That's not what I said. I know. And I agreed 3 times, I think, 2 at least, that that's not what you said. Can you say that's not what I said? I said that. I did.
Sister Bo.
3, now hold on. I did more than once agree that that's not what you said, and you still could not sit and have a conversation with me. And that is when I shut down. That is when I am not interested in having a conversation anymore, because you cannot step to me the way I stepped to you. And iLLA, I fuck with you heavy. I truly love your mind. I do. You are an intelligent individual, and this does not make me respect you less, but it does make me see you in a different way in certain conversations. And I really wish we could slow down and really hear each other, which is what I was trying to do.
Sister Bo, respectfully, I understand, but it ain't about you or me. It's just not. It's not about neither one of us. So what I'm saying is, the fact that other women got it shows you that your perception isn't everybody's perception. As a man, I respect that you respect my mind. It's cool. It's like, I can live. You don't have to agree with everything I say. Like, you literally said, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what you're doing. That's not logical right now. You being emotional right now. It's like you literally said, I heard you say it, and I never said that. Like, we can't keep telling, like, I can't expect a woman to hear how men hear, and women can't expect men to hear how we hear. But if I'm just using regular terms like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you hear something else, like, we don't always have to. It's like you want us to coddle your perspective sometimes. Now I can understand maybe my voice got loud. Maybe I apologize for that. Maybe I may have over talked you a little bit. I apologize for that. But you literally just remixed what I said. You said my mind heard something else. It's like you don't speak for everybody. You sometimes, bro, you make statements as if most women feel how you feel. And they may or they may not. Just like most men may not see things how I can see it. The difference between me and you is I can live without people. I can sleep good at night with a woman or a man saying, I didn't understand you. It ain't for you to understand because there's 8, 10 people on the panel. Ty got what I was saying. Kiana got what I was saying. So obviously it's not something that's all across the board that women don't get. Some things you as an individually just didn't get. As an individual just didn't get. But I didn't berate you. You just told me something that I never said. You put words in my mouth that I never used.
Before y'all go into a meta conversation, keep this.
No. That's it. That's all. I'm done.
Yeah. Because the only thing that y'all saying is she just wanted to be heard and she
We
wanted you to
heard her.
understand. Right.
You
That's
did
it. Okay.
We
Now,
just didn't agree with you.
You didn't
Not
hear
agreeing
me.
with you don't mean we didn't hear you, sweetheart.
What you just said proved
Who
that
is
you
we?
did not hear a thing that I just said.
I'm not even talking.
You heard nothing. Just because every other woman on this panel got what you were saying and I did it doesn't mean anything.
It
means,
don't, Bo, but
hold
you make
on,
it seem
it
like what you
means,
say means everything too. Like you speak for
means
most women and you
that
don't, Bo.
you and I are sitting here having a conversation. It is about you and me in that moment. That is literally what it is about. In the broader context of the conversation, it is not about you and me. But in that moment, it was literally about I heard something different. And I came to you and I said, this is what I heard. I ain't say nothing about these other women on the
That's
panel.
a soft
I
spot
don't
for you, Bo.
like I
Bo,
be
that's
letting
a
you
soft
talk
spot for
and
you,
I
Bo.
don't interrupt. I don't do none of that. But some kind of way when I am speaking, when anyone is speaking, they can never finish. I don't do that to you. I want the same respect. Now, here is the thing. It was about me in that situation. I didn't make it about anyone else. I came to you in a conversation from something that you said, about something that you feel. You were talking. So it was about me and you. And you could not simply just have the conversation. You keep telling me that I'm in my feelings. The reason why I keep cutting my camera off is because I don't want nobody to try to get a screenshot of these faces I'm making because you are not listening to what I'm saying. The reason why I do not want to talk after I say something and you misunderstand what I say, and the reason why I do not want to talk to you all any further is because you refuse to listen to the words that I'm saying. I never said you said anything. I said I heard this from what you said. So let's leave it at that. We cannot agree. You do not hear the words that I am saying. So
I heard you. I just don't agree with you.
no. Let's just agree that you don't know what I'm saying and I don't know what you're saying. And we're just gonna leave this whole situation alone. My purpose is
Can I point out
that you all need to learn to listen.
Mhm.